one amazing series of YA novels, an insatiable thirst to relive the glory that is K.A. Applegate's literary masterpiece. This is Fanimorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles. Animorphs number 14, The Unknown.
Hello, and welcome to the Dork-Bajir Chronicles, a Fanimorph podcast where we read through the Animorphs series one book at a time, then talk about it every week. Today we'll be talking about Animorphs number 14, The Unknown. My name is Mikhail, the host.
I'm Tessa, the expert.
And I'm Braden. I am a writhing pool of fleshy possibilities.
Nice. Just like the Earth used to be.
Wait, what?
That's poetic.
The Earth is rocks, bro.
Yeah, and then it was a pool of fleshy possibilities.
Primordial.
Yeah, primordial soup,
Yeah,
man.
Dog.
I feel it's a bit of a stretch, but okay.
Speaking of a bit of a stretch, why don't you, Tessa, go over the plot for this book?
Hey.
Bit of a stretch. Womp womp. Alright, guys, buckle in, because this plot is going to be razor fast as I show Braden how you break down an Animorphs book.
Eat my
I will
whole
go back
butt.
and talk. Can I just start by saying this is one of the few books that I owned because, as I probably have already mentioned, I was a horse girl. I loved horses as a kid. And this is one where Cassie morphs a horse. Obviously, I'm going to own it and buy it. Rereading it, it's so funny. There's so many fun jokes in here that I liked. But, plot-wise, alright. The opening goof is that Rachel makes fun of Cassie's fashion sense. Her jeans are too short. She looks like she could wear them for a flood. Cassie's dad comes out and says, hey, instead of making fun of my daughter, how about we all jump in the truck and go over to see Crazy Helen? Crazy Helen is a woman who lives out in an area called the Dry Lands. She has called the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center saying that there's a sick horse out there. So they drive out. It's scrubland. It's like, scrubby desert-ish kind of area. Crazy Helen has a big shop where she sells alien artifacts and souvenirs and stuff because she lives near Zone 91, which is this universe's version of Area 51.
And she never sells any of it because she lives in the desert.
Because she lives 2 hours out of the city. It's 2 hours. It's it's bad. So she points out the sick horse and says, oh, there's aliens out there. And Cassie has to calm down Rachel and be like, no, other aliens. And they find this horse who's swaying as if she's drunk. They think, oh, maybe this horse was bit by a rattlesnake. And the horse walks over to a payphone, picks up a stick, and starts to dial a number. What is she doing? Ordering a pizza? Hey, alfalfa and extra cheese? Ha ha ha, jokes. And then Cassie's dad tries to get towards the horse, and the horse stumbles and runs away and falls over, and a slug crawls out of the horse's ear. And then there's a huge explosion, and the horse evaporates.
Well, not just any slug.
Not just any slug. A gray slug. Or as Cassie and Rachel recount this odd happenstance to the other Animorphs, and they're like, do you think it was maybe a snake? And they're like, no. Pretty sure we saw a yerk crawl out of a horse. And then we got Drakened. And just, completely disapparated the horse, because that's what Draken beams do. So they're like, alright, how about you guys go out the next day and investigate these yerk controller horses, see what you can find. So they try looking for them, they fly out, they decide to demorph because it's getting close to time. It's not all of them, it's just Cassie, Rachel, Marco, and Tobias, because Jake is busy with the family thing and Axe doesn't really see the point. So they have to demorph out of their birds of prey morphs, so they do, and they lounge on these rocks, and they're like, oh, it's so sunny, it's so nice, it's like a western. And that's when all the soldiers from Zone 91 come upon them. So they get captured, they morph roaches in a room that definitely had cameras in it, so that's an issue.
And also, none of these teenagers, they're getting grilled by all these, adult soldier people. None of them are smart enough to say, oh, very sorry, officer, we were just out there fucking.
I mean, they are only 12 or 13, so I don't know how believable that would be, because none of them have gone through puberty yet.
Excuse me?
Yeah, but it would make it super uncomfortable for the military,
And that would be,
at least.
they definitely, these books would no longer be for children if that's what they said.
Okay, smooching. Sorry, officer, we just came out to
smooching.
kiss.
We came out to kiss.
We came out to practice
Point.
kissing.
The biggest
Which is
issue is that
teen
these
fucking.
teens don't have shoes. And, like, there's a bunch of scrubgrass, like scrubgrass and, like, terrible rocks. So there's no way they could have walked from the road without shoes. So the army is very suspicious. Marco acts all jokey, and Rachel and Cassie try to play it cool. Cassie is terrible at improvising. She says her name is Cindy Crawford, and her phone number is 123456778. Like,
Yeah,
man,
that's
Cassie,
really bad.
That's
really bad.
my girl Cassie's not good under pressure, you guys. And, like, honestly, when I'm stressed out, I relate. So eventually they escape through a couple of shenanigans, and they decide, all right, well, this was a waste of time. And then they see it. There's a group of horses, and led by a gray stallion that Cassie remembers from the night where the horse got Draken beamed. And one horse starts to shit in front of them, and they're like, all right, well, this is great. Let's leave. But then they notice the other horses are laughing at this pooping horse, who decides to go hide behind a tree and then finish her business. And they're like, modest horses. They must be horse controllers.
Yeah. This
So where
is
are the
the
kids-
Only
book.
explanation.
This is the book
Yeah.
about poop. So where are the kids going to find a bunch of horse morphs? Well, they go to the racetrack. Shenanigans ensue. Some two old men find them and axe, and they're like, oh, you kids painted a horse blue. And they're like, no, he's our horse. We feed him cans of horse food. Cassie morphs are like a racehorse and ends up running in a race, talking to the jockey. Girl, Cassie is not good under pressure yet.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, why is she talking to this jockey like,
She
the
freaks
rule
out.
for talking?
The jockey is like edging her in and is like trying to control her with the bit in her mouth, and she's like already on edge because she has no idea where her friends are and if she's going to get out of here safe. And then she's got all of these crazy horse hormones in her, so she's just like,
Braden's
fuck
laughing
off,
because you
jockey.
said the jockey is edging the horse.
Oh, I mean,
That's how you win a race.
it's how you win a race.
You
guys.
get them nice and tight.
You got to try and go and go and go, and then you got to stop right before the end, and then you just
Come.
go before anybody else does. That's
And
the way you
you're
win.
just like, you win when you win.
You win.
Yeah.
Yeah, the point is not to race. The point is just to run. The point is not to win. The point is just to run. So, they get out of there. Marco has a scheme and like the whole flight back to Zone 91, Marco keeps rehashing this conversation of like, okay, but we morph horses and then we bet on each other and we're going to make a bunch of money. And everybody else is like, no, Marco. And he's like, no, I'm committed to this bit. They morph horses. They find the Yerk horses who speak Gallard, which, put a pin in that. I'll come back to that in the discussion. They like the
Well, wait,
horses
just
speaking
for the
Gallard.
audience, let's quickly explain. Gallard is like a universal common language.
Dude, excuse me. This is exactly the pin that I was gonna put in it and put to the back. Do you really think that anybody listening is not gonna know what like Gallard is because they don't read Animorphs? Come on. They
Do
all
you
read
really think?
Animorphs.
Do you really think there's nobody who doesn't just listen to us for our comedic wit, or maybe hasn't read all the Animorphs books?
Okay,
Braden, you're talking to the summary queen. She knows exactly what to leave in and what to come back to
and what
later.
to come back to later. Thank you, Mikhail. Thank you. Thank you for your.
I'm just trying to set up the rivalry even more.
Thank you for your honest and sincere faith in me. I love
This
it.
is not a rivalry. This is me bending downwards to barely tickle your scalp.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I kinda
they
like
join
it.
the group of Yerk horses, and the Yerk horses are like, well, fuck, like, we're so bored, let's just get this over with. So they kind of trot up to the base, because they're gonna sneak in. And then the Yerk horses just are like, fuck it, and just stampede through the base. And they're like, okay, Animorphs are running along too. And they find this thing. It's like 8 feet. It's like maybe an 8 feet by 8 feet cube with rounded edges.
Soft
like
edges.
Smooth.
Yeah.
It's like, rounded soft edges. Smooth. And like the inside is a beautiful, like kind of minty pale green color. They don't really know what it is. The Yerks have no idea what it is. They thunder along. The Animorphs are like, all right, well, we have no idea what that was, but let's get out of here. And then a bug fighter comes with Visser 3. The lead horse says, yeah, sorry, Visser 3, I had no idea what that was. And Visser 3 just beheads him. and has a beautiful thing where he says, "Oh man,
hell yeah.
this is terrible. Like, first we lost poor Yerk number 1 by being bitten by that snake, and now poor Yerk number 2 has died. What a tragedy!" It's like, Visser 3, you
He
stone
specifically
cold bitch.
blames the rest of the team, like, look what your failure has done to poor Yerk number 846.
It's actually
Yeah,
a pretty
it's like,
huge power move. I like it
Your
a lot.
failure has killed this man that I completely killed. And then he spots the Animorphs, and they're like, "You fools! Why would you take other horses with you?" And they're like, No. Nah, V3, it's fine. This is, they're like other horses. And like, no, they might be Andalite bandits and morph. And Cassie's like, "Guys, I got this. I've learned how to act under pressure. We'll pretend to be normal horses." And she bends down, she eats some food, she takes a huge dump, and doesn't hide it. And
This is the poop book.
Visser 3 is
Only-
like, "Haha,
only
that
real
was
horses
gross,
poop."
but let's kill them anyway." So Visser 3, Cassie runs up and kicks a Dork-Bajir in the face, and then they run away.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, "All right, well, this was a waste of time." And then Axe is like, "Yeah, well, not really. That was a waste containment system from the dome ships. That's why none of the Yerks know what it was, but that's why I do." So everyone's embarrassed. They go home. Cassie gets thoroughly embarrassed by her parents.
Not just a waste containment, like a garbage bin. Waste containment as in a toilet.
Oh, but
This
the
is a
Andalites don't
septic
have
tank.
garbage, Brayden. The Andalites
The
don't
shitter.
have packaging, so
Well, you should
that's a
probably
lie.
explain
any
that in a
esteemed
recap.
listeners would know that I mean poop. Like, come on, it's the poop.
This is a podcast for the common man, Tessa. Not
book. The
just
common
the
man who obsessively
esteemed.
reads Animorphs. Come on, if you read Animorphs, you're already esteemed.
Some
All you
people
listeners out there.
only got to read Animorphs once, and then their parents made them throw them on the fire so that they had another day of warmth as they ate their dead.
Yeah.
Whoa, that got really intense at the end.
My
little bit too much.
upbringing wasn't nearly that rough. I was at least allowed to. I mean, Mom didn't want me to watch the Digimon movie because the teens on the poster looked angry and mean. But
Those
I was
were some
allowed to
angry
read
teens.
Animorphs. I was
That
allowed
was
to
a
read
good
about
call,
child
Mrs. Tessa's
dismemberment.
mom.
Oh man, yeah. The Animorphs
That movie is so sad.
have a perfect, stock, anonymous, emotionless face. It's actually quite shocking.
I'm so glad that she had no idea how dark these books really were, because my life would be, who knows? If I never read the Animorphs, I might actually like ants. Ugh. Anyway, Cassie gets thoroughly embarrassed and, promises to do good, and she overhears her parents laughing, haha, our kid is so cool, the only way to really punish her is to terribly embarrass her. Blah, 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 at least we've got a backup plan if we take her to Father, Brunizian and embarrass her and Jake. And then she's like, backup plan? Wait, what? Visser 3 said that too. And then she remembers.
Oh my god, my dad is Visser 3.
In the Zone 91 book, in the Zone 91 area, there was a sign-up sheet for the gardens under, a shell corporation called Gondor Industries. The Yerks are going to go to the gardens while Zone 91 is there and try and infest their lead guy.
Lord of the Rings was a thing before Animorphs. And so I feel like
Yes,
K.A.
that is
Applegate
true.
and her husband would have known that Gondor is a reference, right? That's
No,
not just
they
a
were
coincidence.
obviously intentionally referencing it, Mikhail.
But I don't understand, why or how that's, relevant. Because it's a military force?
I think it was probably just they were trying to make it a subtle one, and they felt they didn't have to draw attention to it. It was just oh, these nerdy military dudes love Lord of the Rings, so they named their fake shell corporation Gondor Industries.
That's a bit of a logical leap.
I mean, I feel like it's just that K.A. I feel like it's just that
Not for
Catherine
you,
and
for
Michael
them.
like Lord of the Rings, and they're like, all right, we need some bullshit word for this company. Oh, I know. Lord of the Rings
Catherine.
is fun. Let's just steal a word from that. And then our readers, who also read Lord of the Rings, will think we're cool.
That was pretty subtle there, Tessa. Catherine and Michael. My good
friends,
casual
Catherine
social
and Michael.
acquaintances.
My good friends,
Good
Catherine and
listener,
Michael.
good friends of the podcast. Hey, Kat. Hey,
Yeah, of
Mike. Hope
course.
you guys are doing well.
They call us after every show, and they're just like, "Listen, here's some notes. Let me tell you
Here's
how to
some
get
notes,
this right."
yeah. That's
Yeah.
why we're
Then we
all
have
taking
dinner.
turns to do the recap now. It's because it was.
Sometimes I
suggestion.
regret. Sometimes I really regret suggesting that those two get divorced. You know, they take my advice so seriously.
I mean, they never did, so you're fine there.
Yeah.
Not
Anyway,
publicly.
The Animorphs go to the gardens to, like, set up an hour before anyone's supposed to arrive, but oops, Cassie doesn't know how to read military time, so they're already behind schedule. More shenanigans happen. Cassie and Marco and Jake fall down the log ride on their butts, like 50 feet. They could die, but they don't. That'd be so embarrassing, too, if you're an Animorph and then you die as a human from a log ride. Cassie continues to not be subtle while screaming in front of Visser 3 and a bunch of Dork-Bajir that they're gonna go after Torelli. Like, cool, kid. Now the Yeerks know that there's a human involved.
Also, what a great name. Torelli.
It sounds like a pasta. I love it.
It's a really down-home, like, Irish working class, like...
Yeah.
Not Irish, sorry, Italian.
Irish. I was
Italian
gonna be like,
It sounds like...
Yeah, no.
What?
It sounds like the name of, like, a one-episode boyfriend that Phoebe had in Friends.
Oh my god, it does!
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Hey, it's me, Johnny Torelli.
And, like, the gag all episode is that, like, Phoebe thinks he's in the mob, and it's exciting, and that's why she likes him. But then at the end, it turns out...
like, a D&D group or something?
Yeah. He's actually just a huge nerd!
And they're like
all military
no!
guys. Pulled it back around. All right, let's finish up this little
so
recap.
it's, like, they have a huge battle with the Yeerks in the middle of the parade. With, like, where Visser 3 tries to kill Daffy Duck and gets confused that there's another head inside. They chase
because
the Yeerks
it's a
away
mascot costume.
Oh, it's a mascot. People know, Brayden. Have more faith in our listeners. Come on.
Look, these get edited, okay? We need to make sure people don't think that Mikhail is some sort of hack. We need to make sure that the info is there.
What should really happen is just edit out your whole voice.
You know what? The only way...
Brayden away.
You know what? If you edited out me, the only thing that would save this podcast is Mikhail occasionally mentioning being naked in a sensory deprivation chamber.
No. What the fuck? It's been so many episodes.
Okay,
you don't need to bring that back.
Sidebar, I actually had an idea for, like, an interview podcast called In the Buff, and it's just like a regular interview podcast, but both parties have to be naked. And you can be recording separately, but you have to be like, you know, you have to know that they're naked. Anyway, the Yeerks have cleverly... TM. The Yeerks have cleverly hidden their bug fighters on top of, like, this alien adventure ride. And as they leave, a little boy and his grandpa are like, those aren't aliens. And the grandpa says, yeah, I was kidnapped by aliens and they did medical experiments on me. It's not mentioned in the book, but you know it involved the butt. You know.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, those aren't alien ships. And then the book ends with the gang being like, all right, well, that was kind of pointless. At least, you know, we can let the Yeerks keep going down this path because it will be a waste of time for them. And maybe it will keep them busy. And then Rachel makes fun of Cassie's pants, which is right where the book started. And Cassie dumps a pail of water over Marco's head, and then everybody goes home. The end.
Hijinks. All right.
Okay, speaking of hijinks, my favorite bit, I think the bit I remember the most, is because Cassie asked Rachel to come along with Crazy Helen because she didn't want to be alone with her dad listening to his music the whole time. It would drive her crazy. Rachel was like, fine, but you have to agree to go shopping with me. So then, middle of the book, there's the scene where Rachel and Cassie have already gone shopping, and Cassie is dressed up in one of her new outfits at school.
Apparently dolled up.
And Rachel is, like, leading her around, and it's just like, here, let's show you off, because you look so hot now. And all of these boys are like, hey, Rachel, oh my god, like, I'll see you in, like, chemistry or something. Oh, bye, Kendra. One guy who actually, like, they keep calling Cassie by the wrong name. There's one guy who, like, says, hey, Cassie, what's up? You look different. Rachel's like, could it be the cool outfit? And the guy says, no. Are you bulking up? And Cassie's like, great, Rachel,
Who says
thanks.
that?
I look fat. And then Cassie gets ready for, like, goes to first period, looks for her homework, and then hears a shout, "What? It can't be!" And Marco jumps over 3 aisles and, like, stares at her with wonder in his eyes. Way too much wonder. And he starts going on and on about how they say the clothes make the and, but they say the clothes make the man, but these clothes make you an angel. And is, like, giving her all of these beautiful compliments. Like, Marco is smoothing it on. Cassie's like, "Are you done?" And he's like, "Yep." And she says, "How much did Rachel pay you? How much did Rachel pay you?" And Marco's like, "Girls are so stupid. She gave me $2 and I would have done it for $1. Just...
Marco is actually like a hero in this book.
Yeah.
Marco is so good.
I have a sneaking suspicion that this book was actually a Marco book, but then they realized... we don't have enough Cassie books. Because there's just too many smooth-ass Marco lines, you know?
I feel like one reason why I like this book so much is that we talked about before how really you only get a lot of character development from the person who is narrating the book and then their love interest. But this book, I feel like everyone is really in their element. I mean, but everyone is like, all the characters are very distinct. They're in their element. The kids are talking to each other like normal teens. Like Cassie and Rachel have a bit of jokes about like the horse ordering pizza. Everyone is written in a scene and they're arguing over French fries at the food court when they're telling them this information about the horse controllers. And like, I don't know. It's just a fun, after all of these books where something really dramatic happens. Like we found out that there were androids, and then we found out that like time dilation exists and you can go back in time, and then we found out you can get allergic to morphs, and then Tobias got his morphing back, and then now it's like a break.
It's a blanket.
We should have a
it's
podcast
a nice safety
that's
blanket.
actually just Tessa talking for an hour.
It's basically like, this is the dream podcast, you guys, is me talking about Animorphs and how funny the whole bit where Marco is just like, "Oh, we feed our horse food, you know? You should see how much horse food this guy can eat. Man, like every day I'm just cracking open cans of horse food." Like, that's hilarious.
Yep.
One
That
day-
podcast would be amazing.
Will be blue.
I just put something together. This book is literally pretty much called The Toilet. Because the unknown is referring to the object that they don't know is in Zone 91. And then they find out it's a toilet. The unknown is a toilet. This book is a toilet.
Yeah.
This whole book was very pointless. It reminded me so much of number 11, where it was like, at the very end, it was like, guess what? Nothing matters. Like,
Nothing
you could skip
matters.
this book, and no one would give a shit about anything.
It's a fun filler book, I will say. It's a fun filler book. Like, hey, so the pin that I had for Gallard was that very, very... So I run the Dork-Bajir Tumblr, and only very recently, like within the last couple of weeks, I was talking to somebody on there, and they said that Gallard is probably a portmanteau for Galactic Standard Language.
Wouldn't it just be Galactic Standard?
Galactic Standard. Gallard.
Gallard. Yeah.
I never got that.
That's all right.
Oh, that's really dope.
Brayden.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my plan. We get morphing powers, right? Because we obviously will at the end of this podcast. That's what this is all building up to.
That's the end goal,
Yeah, we get morphing powers.
We finish the last episode of the Animorphs TV series, and we have like turned the last page on the last piece of good Animorphs fan fiction, and we say, "Wow, they all died and went to hell. What a crazy ending!"
That was a crazy ending.
Yeah. And
anyways, my point
and then
is,
Eska Lordy Boyd comes out of the ether and gives us a cube, and we get the morphing powers, and then you say...
Nah, I've changed my mind. Now it's Tessa. Now that I got interrupted, it's that hard. Tessa.
Sorry, someone's got to tell jokes.
Oof, I don't need to tell jokes because this book is funny enough.
Questionable. Anyways, when we get morphing powers, will you head up the sort of gambling ring that we're going to organize around morphing horses and rigging races, because I'm pretty sure, like, Cassie morphed the fastest horse, right?
Ever. Yeah,
She-
the Kentucky
no, it
Derby.
wasn't-
Yeah, but
No,
it seems like
was,
there was a chance that she might not have won still. Otherwise, there's always a chance. And yet she did win pretty easily.
Yeah.
yeah. Because
What I'm saying is,
brain.
a human brain and a horse can win no problem. So if we infiltrate this and basically, like, one person on the outside, one person on the inside, and we just basically make millions, and then later, we'll save the earth and all that other shit, like, who gives a fuck? But we'll be rich while doing it, which is really the important thing.
Oh, God.
No takers on that? That's
No,
okay. I've got
what?
other
Of
friends.
course.
I'm just
I
worried
just
that I can't,
moaned
like...
sexually. Of course I'm in.
Yeah, but Brayden, you just moan sexually at everything.
That's
when
not
I said
true.
cans of horse food, you moaned.
That
I don't
you
know
notice-
why. It wasn't
That was
something
because
that
I'm getting a
Mikhail-
bead
like,
from a leopard.
Mikhail didn't even
True.
edit it in post. Like, you actually just had this guttural moan when I said horse food. Anyway, I would
He also texted me that he's moaning.
that he's moaning. Yeah, he texted me too. God, Brayden.
Weird.
I don't even
At least
have my
text us
phone
both at
right
the
now.
Same time. Yeah, because it's in your butt and vibrating now.
How
God.
would I type a text
You're so
message with my
gross.
butt? I haven't
I don't
fully
know.
mastered that yet.
How would you get a beach from a
Tessa,
leopard?
you're the one teaching me about it. How to text with my asshole. You've been grading my tests. You know I'm not that advanced yet.
Can I just say,
Should we,
one of these other lines that I thought was hilarious is when they're running through the base and it's pandemonium. And, people, all these officials are yelling at each other, like, horses, oh no, shoot them, don't shoot. And then one person just yells, help, I'm allergic to horses. It's so
Could be
funny.
a serious allergy. Wow, you're being really insensitive.
This is
Super
the-
insensitive.
This is
That's
the
so
first
rude.
really silly book, and it's so silly. And there's definitely a lot of other ones, but this is one of, and it's probably because, it's definitely because I owned it as a kid, that I loved it so much. Because,
You were a horse girl.
I loved horses so much that in this book, when Cassie says that horses are kind of dumb, I got offended on behalf of horses.
Horses are amazingly smart. They can give themselves
like,
abortions.
Fuck you, Cassie.
Wait,
horses
what? Wait,
can run
what?
for president.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Okay, no, that's not true. The abortions thing, though? Tell me about that.
Yeah. Okay, this is not 100% confirmed, but I have heard at least twice from two people I know that know horses, separately.
They know horses, biblically.
Yeah, completely brought up out of the blue, just, here's a weird thing I know about horses. If they're pregnant, but don't, think, it's under circumstances that they're, don't want or don't care to have a baby, they will eat, certain weeds or just, straight up jump onto fence posts and crush their own tummies to have
Oh my God.
abortions. Yeah.
That's really dark, actually. I had no idea that.
Have you guys seen in Planet Earth 2, there's one of the episodes where you get to see two wild horses battling it out, two wild stallions fighting over water. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, actually.
their teeth
That was
are
very
so
cool.
gross and they just extend from their mouths like demons and they're just nipping at each other.
Horses are also, really scary up close.
Yeah.
They're really, really big.
They're
very big.
Enormous. They can crush you
Yeah.
very easily.
Okay, wait a minute. I would just I quickly Googled horses
Horse abortion?
performing horse give themselves abortions quick, and I just get a lot of results of horse breeders needing to abort accidental or dangerous horse pregnancies. But there is a horse essentially morning after pill called okay, and drum roll please.
Yeah, there you go.
And abortion anyway.
What?
Oh, that's
Abortion anyway.
That's what the pill is called.
Yeah.
And
Like-
they wasted that name on horse abortion pills?
I guess so.
That should just be like
They'll
a
never
standard
put the word
abortion pill for
abortion.
everyone. That's a great
They'll never
name.
put the word abortion in a Plan B pill. That would be horrifying.
You're
Abortion
just like,
pill.
abortion anyway.
Ugh.
I don't know. Is it really called abortion? I don't think it's called abortion when it's Plan B.
Abortion
like, it's-
anyway. I mean, like, I that was my colloquialism. Like, it's supposed to be like for a gestating feti, I suppose.
Okay.
Abortion.
Anyways, since we're
Abortion.
sort of talking about this already, maybe we should have our OTP alert.
OTP alert! Mr. and Mrs. Cassie's parents is the true OTP.
Yeah, you've written that in our show notes, and I feel like I can't really agree with that.
Yeah. No.
But their parenting is so fun in this book.
They're not.
But it's
That's
not,
not
an
an
OTP
OTP.
if they're already married.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're
it
like-
can be. I don't want them to open up their marriage, Mikhail. It's an OTP for me. I just want them to remain
Okay,
one true
OTP.
parents.
How dare you? OTPs can be in open relationships.
No. OTP means one true pairing. If it's more than that, then it's an OT3.
If it's still a pairing if it's an open relationship. They're paired together.
Yeah.
They just fuck other people sometimes.
No.
They just fuck leopards sometimes.
If they give each other a lot of gifts, like for things that they need around the house and stuff, is it then called an OT free?
Yes.
Hey! Thanks.
Yeah. No, that works. Yeah. Congratulations, Mikhail. You are now the Marco.
If they're all like
is that
all,
going to be
if-
the thing now? Every episode, someone will try to win the Marco crown by making the
Yeah.
most jokes.
Yeah.
If so, Michaela's definitely winning because Brayden hasn't said anything funny yet.
Tessa,
True.
you're a trash person.
I've actually said a lot of funny things.
You like
that
the
have been
toilet
completely
book.
drowned out.
I love
Anyways.
the toilet book. Toilets
my
are
God.
important.
Is this on?
What's the deal with horse food?
What's
Fucking
the deal
hell.
with horse abortions?
Anyways, as usual, Rachel and Marco run the show. Obviously, the clear OTP for this book. Obviously.
So wrong.
They actually got engaged, but it was behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
As a promise ring. Yeah.
It was a deleted scene.
Look,
They got a
Cassie
promise
like
ring.
didn't even talk to Jake this
Yeah.
whole book.
Oh, also,
She was busy with the horses.
there was a little talk
Nah.
of Mrs. Cassie's parents were all like, "Oh, those crazy kids are definitely going to end up together. We should
Yeah.
take them to Father Donutty,
No, bring it.
Oh,
Begin
yeah.
with a B. Bring him or something.
bring them." And
I mean,
so
it doesn't matter.
I would just like to point out in this OTP alert corner, confirmed Cassie and her folks, and maybe Jake, or maybe just Mr. and Mrs. Cassie's parents are intolerant dicks, are definitely Catholic. Or some denomination of Christian.
Definitely Catholic. I don't know if they're intolerant dicks. Like, they could just want, for embarrassing wise, just want him to go through the Catholic, before marriage talk. Like,
I
my
guess,
mom
yeah.
gave me this
Weird.
huge Baha'i book of, like, the Baha'i, like, a spiritual guide to great sex that was written by a Baha'i. It was, like, this big pamphlet on the table. I come home
that's
with my
hot.
first boyfriend. It was terrible.
Fuck.
Although, I will mention...
Do you still have that pamphlet?
Nope. It
Fuck.
burned down with my house. It was really like it was really just
That
about
was-
like intimacy
Wait a
versus
minute.
intensity.
It
Wait a
sounded
minute.
like you burned your own house down there.
Yeah. It sounded like you were trying to burn that pamphlet and just was a casualty.
Well, I'm gonna have to bleep that out.
Can you also bleep out the town name? I don't know. I don't want the Yerks to know where I live.
Don't worry,
I
it burned
am
down.
doing
You
that.
could be anywhere now.
But it's true. But like, yeah, no. I come home from school one day, like 15 years old, first boyfriend. Walk in. Mom has a stack of pamphlets and says, "Hey, Tessa, hand these out to your friends. It's the spiritual guide to great sex." And then there's also this huge green book on the table that's like walking the path to marriage. And then she pulls
Ugh.
me aside. Like, this was a couple weeks before, but she pulled me aside and said, "Now, Tessa, just because you have a boyfriend doesn't mean you have to do everything that other girls do. You don't have to hold hands with him if you don't want to."
Well, that's because holding hands is for sluts.
And don't worry, I didn't hold his hand, though. Like, I definitely did not.
Thank God.
Is he the one who
I
was
heard you
gay?
can get pregnant that way.
I mean, he might be bisexual, but he's now married to a man in any case. When I first met him, I definitely thought he was gay, and then he asked me out.
That is
high
funny.
school.
High
Anyways.
school sucks.
No.
I do want to mention
High
it is
school sucks.
All right, well, I'm bored with this conversation. Let's continue talking about something else. Like, hey, when did you all learn military time?
I learned it at a children's Christian camp called Camp Rivendell. Yes,
Oh my God,
it
Lord of the Rings.
was based on Lord of the Rings. And yes,
Hell
they did get their asses sewed off eventually.
Wasn't that
I
also
learned military time
Yes.
When
yes,
I was
it was
in
a
the
Christian
military.
camp.
Yeah.
in the Navy SEALs. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Oh, Navy SEALs. Oh, cool. I didn't see you there. When were you in the Navy SEALs? We must have just
We
missed
were
each
part
other.
of. I was. Oh yeah, is that so? I was in the platoon where, like, remember at the end of Captain Phillips, where they call in the Navy SEAls and they like snipe that guy.
Oh, yeah,
Those
yeah,
couple
yeah.
guys. That was me.
Oh,
Which
cool.
one? Which one?
No, I must have
all
just
of
missed
them.
you.
Actually, they had to split it into a platoon so that it seemed more realistic. I was doing everything in real life.
You shot
See,
3 of them
I-
at once?
I
Yeah, and
joined
I
the
also
Navy
called the
SEAls.
wind and all that.
And then, like, I knew I had, like, gone to Baha'i camp with the daughter of, like, the main general. And
Okay.
so he promoted
Okay.
me immediately. And then I got a Medal of Valor because, like, I mean, I saved a couple of
You give
people, but
great
really it's just
head.
my job. And then I was honorably discharged because I hurt my knee really bad when we were playing improv games
God.
on the ship. So, yeah. I wasn't in
My
the Navy
story
for a
was
long
way
time.
cooler. I shot the guy who was kidnapping Captain Phillips, man.
There
Yeah,
were
but
actually
I wasn't
3
in the Navy
dudes?
for a long time, Mikhail, so I don't know a lot about the Navy. Or the Navy SEALs.
If you go up high enough, you get, like, it's kind of like a morphing power, but you can only turn into seals.
You only turn to a SEAL? Ah!
Yeah.
The first guy to propose to me had that power, and he thought it made him so cool, but, like, he was honestly kind of weird, and he didn't shower often enough, because he thought, I'll just turn into a SEAL and go into the ocean. And, like, that
Well,
kind
the
of turned
10th
me off on, like,
Sorry,
getting
what?
it.
The 10th
I don't
woman
get
to
the
propose
joke.
to me, she was really only after my money, let's get real, but she also had that power.
Did she?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You know,
currently engaged to
I don't know.
the most beautiful jaguar.
Oh, yeah. I heard about
Yeah.
this.
But you're
yeah.
okay. Does Marina know that you're engaged to a Jaguar, too?
Marina
is a
the
jaguar. Wow. That's really rude, Tessa.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I'm sorry. When I lived there, Marina wasn't a
This
Jaguar. So
this is a podcast
Oh, God.
that acknowledges the identities of other kin. You bigot.
My headcanon is that we're all animals inside.
If I
Headcanon.
were to be an animal, I'd probably be a doofy one because my wisdom stat is so low.
Like a
yeah.
side
Oh
duck.
God, you'd be like
God.
a manatee.
I was thinking a duck, but yeah, that works.
I think I would probably be
I wouldn't
some
be
kind
anything
of
great.
president, like an Obama
Oh,
or something.
How about this? What color of horse would you want to morph into the most?
Oh, black stallion all the way.
Really? Like
I was
all
gonna
black,
say
or would
black.
you have like a white star?
Ugh,
No, black all the
that's
way.
tacky. That's White Star's tacky. I was gonna say black until Brayden said black, so then I'm gonna be white, and then we can be like classic good versus evil, and Tessa will probably be like sort of a muddy brown color.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not going to be muddy brown. It's going to be a beautiful roan with like a left fetlock. It's all white, and then maybe like a white star on the top, and like a black muzzle, and a couple of spots on the back.
Oh,
The
that's
star is tacky,
definitely
man.
you've definitely thought of that before. That's like
Oh,
your
yeah.
horse OC. Don't try to lie.
Oh man, My Little Pony OC had like 7 superpowers, so don't even come for me.
All right, Brayden, hit me
Yo.
with them predictions for Animorphs number 15. What is it? I don't even have the notes. in front of
Animorphs
me.
number 15, what is it?
Urinal. No,
What?
no, we just did that one.
The Escape. It's the
The
Marco
Escape, that's
turning
it.
into a shark book.
Marco
That's right.
Sharko. The tagline is "The Yerks are out there." Oh Okay, I think most of this book is going to be centered around them. So they have to go to a location. They are going to attempt... Oh my god. Oh, sorry, I just looked closely at that cover. Jesus H.
Yeah,
some of the shit between... Wow.
The hammerhead shark is really terrifying.
Wow. Literally everything between that hammerhead and Boy Marco and Hammerhead Marco is a travesty.
It's very bad. Every one of them is very bad. They're very scary.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. They're going... At the top, they're going to have a very quick mission where they go somewhere, probably in the middle of the ocean, to try to stop a Yerk thing. But then they're going to be trapped or caught, and they obviously have to escape as sharks. You know what? I'm calling it now. It's on an oil rig.
Ooh, specific.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's going to be the best one because it's a Marco book.
Oh, yeah. Because our best boy Marco's narrating. Hell yeah.
Oh, God. Marco's so good. All right.
Boy, oh boy. I can't wait to learn all those animal facts in a new Live from the Gardens now.
Oh, man. Next week is going to be insane. I really hope that I beat Brayden in this quiz.
You know what? I really think you stand a chance this week in catching up with me. I definitely won't have more points.
I know a lot about horses.
Oh, yeah.
Next week, in our bi-weekly episode of Live from the Gardens, we'll be talking about the subtleties of the... Oh, what were the morphs from this book? The horse and the osprey. And then the following week, we'll be talking about Animorphs number 15, the... And
Escape.
you just said it and I already forgot. The Escape, that's it.
Until then, you can find more of our stuff on our podcast page at collectivelegacy.org, or Mikhail runs the Twitter, I run the Tumblr, we are also on Instagram, and we've got a bunch of memes on Facebook, you guys. Tag your friends in our memes.
Check out all our individual Twitters as well. We're all funny, very politically active people. I am a big supporter of the death penalty for dogs. Get behind that.
Brayden, now I'm sad.
What?
Also, death penalty for horses.
Dogs can be evil too.
Listeners,
Dogs
remember to smash those
too.
like and subscribe buttons, or Brayden will actually end up supporting the death penalty for dogs and not just joke about it.
Oof. For the Fanimorphs, my name is Mikhail, the host.
My name is Tessa, the expert.
And I'm Brayden, and I'm the sexy, mysterious bad boy who's new in school. Did he look your way? Yes, he did.
Oh my god, is this book 20 already?
This has been Fanimorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles. If you're looking for more Fanimorphs content, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search for Fanimorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles.
Hello everyone, my name is Jared, and this is Two Nerds in a Basement. Once a week, me and another nerd watch one of the over 70 movies put out by Marvel or DC Comics over the last 50 years, and talk about them for far too long.
Can we just take a moment to address the fact that Howard the Duck looks like Martin Sheen?
You just want a Jimmy Olsen torture scene, right?
Something. Don't just shoot him in the head. Like, string him up by his toenails and just go to town on him.
And he's just got this scratchy voice. It's so annoying.
What's our solution to nuclear warfare? 10-year-olds?
It's like, I want to be a witch. I want to explore the black magics, and you get the aesthetic of your dreams, right?
I went straight to the boob grabbing. Hang on. Let me get there.
Brought to you by
Collective Legacy,
a podcast network.